Hello and welcome to the second part of 100 important principles in chess. In the second chapter, we will be discussing about 10 important principles which we must know in chess. So let's start it. The first position, as you can see, which is the 11th principle in chess, we see we must control our opponent king, which is not going to castling. Why? Because if our opponent king is in the center, we can start attacking as soon as possible and can checkmate our opponent. 12th principle is controlling the space. For example, as you can see in this situation, after e5 we take more space, and after that we can develop our pieces and absolutely have great strategic positions. Other position, the 13th principle in chess says always try to take tempt. For example, in this position you can see after e5 we take the tempt from our knight, and our opponent knight must be go in other bad squares like d7 or g8, which is absolutely bad position. Other example, if you want to say, like the Scandinavian, after e4 d5 e takes d5, and after queen take we can play knight c3, and after that we can take other temp and space, which we will be discussing in 1e4 lifetime repertoires. Let's go on the 14th principle in chess. As you can see here, white play e5, which want to take a space and also temp, but unfortunately this is a bad move. Why? Because queen come to a5 check, and with check he also can take our pawn. But how we play? First of all, we must be L power pawn and also B coordinate our pieces, not just the important pieces like minor pieces and major pieces. Also we must be coordinate our pieces with our pawns. Other principle, as you can see, we must be always try to control the center, like this situation. After knight comes to d5 we play e4, which is give another temp, and also we can control completely the center. As you can know, the center is e4, e5, d4 and d5. This is the main point in the principle of chess. 16th principle, we must be always try to control the center, and also our pieces must be on the center, like this position. As you can see, our bishops, our knights are more near to center. Let's see the 17th principle. If you can see, white pawn take the e6 pawn, and after that here black can play take with pawn and also take with bishop, which is always both of them is great. But in this position we want to say the principle is always try to keep the pawns in the center. Like in this position we can take with f take e6, and our pawn come to the center. The summary of this principle is always try to keep the pawns in the center. Let's see the 18th principle in chess. Before you start attacking, try to control the center. This is the other important principle, which is you must know and must used and utilized in your games. For example, in this position, before our goal is specifically we want to play b5 and trap the bishop, but in this position also we have another goals, which is we want to start attacking with b5, h5, and also maybe h6. The summary of this principle is always try to control the center before you starting the attack. Let's see the 19th principle in chess, which is the pawn structure. As you know, the pawn structure is more important and basics. We will be make a complete playlist in talking about the pawn structure, but in this position, as you can see, the white have more space, but black also have great pawn structure and also pawn chain. But we have 3 islands for white, but just we can see 1 island for black, which is we can see black position is better. And let's see the last position and the last principle which we want to discussing in this chapter. The 20 principle in chess is the pawns and weaknesses will be at the end of the game. It means if we have some weaknesses like this position, double pawn and also isolated pawn, this will be until the end of the game. We always try to avoid like this situation, which is double pawns and isolated pawns, which is we must be know and discussing in other chapters and also in other principles. Have a good time. If this will be useful to you, you can share, like, and subscribe to all. All the best. Thank you.